What's going on with everybody, yo? Um, Peace and love to you, man. No, I haven't made a video in quite a while. Like speaking of it, brother, just been busy. Like speaking of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, and of course, like I want to say every week, man, I be having random strangers coming to me. You know, having conversations. It could turn to how you doing, what's up, and to them telling me the whole damn life story, yo. It doesn't bother me not one bit, man. Like speaking of it, it doesn't really don't at all because I'd rather for them to get whatever it is that's on their mind out of their system. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, if you are going through something, internally, the best thing to do is to get it out of your system. So write it down, go for a walk around the park, the beach with nature, you know, um, talk to your friends, family, and someone that you trust. You know what I'm saying? So, because if you internalize that issue or issues or whatever it is that's on your mind, what tends to happen is that it turns into something bad. And it could turn into something bad in multiple different ways. But I just want to just speak on my part as far as with the patriarchy system, and how why I was created, what has happened, and why feminism movement was started. So everybody knows at one point in time that women there was pretty much no place for women to to work in the workforce. It was patriarchal system is a system built by men, for men. You know what I'm saying? So we have to I would think that we have to take it back to slavery days. And everybody pretty much knows what the fuck was going on in them times. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much a slave master, pretty much calling all the shots and, constantly doing things that were inhumane, to the slaves, and not even just to the slaves, but to their wives. You know what I'm saying? So the people who was mainly benefiting from that is that very small percentage of people to this day that's pretty much calling all the shots. So when you are living with someone and they are traumatizing you and you have nowhere to fucking go, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be bad, because when you have kids, that trauma that you've been through is going to be passed on to your kids. That's how energy works, yo. You know what I'm saying? So now those same women that's been traumatized are now in the workforce, and that small percentage of the ones who's calling all the shots is pretty much men. And not just that, they're wicked to us. You know what I'm saying? But so they wanted women in the workforce, not because they genuinely cared for women to be in the workforce, but because they know that they could benefit from it, from the trauma, from them not healing. Because if they actually gave a damn about the trauma that these women been through, you know what I'm saying, they would have said, you pretty much be like, yo, what are some ways that we could get them some help, to heal from the trauma that they been through within themselves? No, they did not do that. Those same women that's been traumatized, that's never healed, went to the workforce and pretty much telling other women to go into the workforce. This is where feminism came into play. Funded by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and all the rest of those those bastards, like speaking of it. And their sole purpose was, like I said from before in multiple videos, was to separate families. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk they talk about the patriarchy system, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, it would never be a problem whatsoever if women, had room, to be themselves, as a woman. You know what I'm saying? You know, they clearly understand. They clearly understand that it's a system built by men for men. They work hard, do whatever, and they come home, and they're being taken care of by their man. You know what I'm saying? Being in charge by good, genuine, considerate, men. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. The case is that you had, like I said, there's a small percentage of people. It's pretty much like your coach. Let's say like you have a coach who's just flat out disrespectful as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So one or two things is gonna happen, or a couple of things is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So either you're gonna leave the fucking team, or you're gonna stay there and abide by their rules and regulations and their game strategy and all that shit. Pretty much that's what it's like. Same thing with supervisors, managers, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when people ask me like, do I have a problem with, feminism and the patriarchy system, and I, explain to them, and some of them at first, do not like it, especially a few of the brothers that I had conversations with. They're just saying, that I'm soft or whatever. I give two fucks what the hell your society got to say about me, man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that's the problem. It's the so much of the patriarchal system of feminism. It's trauma. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Feminism was built off of trauma, because if, like I said from before, if the patriarchy system had all, that's very small percentage of men who were in charge, and they actually gave a fuck about the wealth and well-being of people, slavery would never have been even began, and their wives would have never been treated like shit. You know what I'm saying? So it would have gave a woman, like I said from before, room to be herself, to be in her divine feminine nature. But that's not the case. They're born into this system built by men, and like I said again, crooked fucking men, wicked. So when you're born into a system, you're gonna become part of that system, and that's what a lot of people are not getting. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So, and not only that, it's trauma that you are bringing into that system. So you're double fucked. So, but that's my thing. It's trauma. It's the trauma. Because because I hear points from women and men when we speak about about these things, and I always say that, like, yo, I think it's a deeper root of an issue than just what you see on the surface, which is the patriarchal system or feminism. No, it's deeper than that, and that's trauma. You know what I'm saying? When you don't heal, from trauma, like speaking of it, yo, you're gonna pass that on to other people. You know, so my thing is like, man, deep down, and I had a lot of conversations with random people, and that I tell them, like, I deep down to the core, I believe that 90% of the people on this earth are good, genuine people. And I could tell, and I could feel that feel that shit based on their vibe and their energy and everything, man. It's just that the problem is that their mind is being poisoned by you know, some outside forces. Pretty much it's like you are a computer, right? Or you just bought a brand new computer. You just got it, and out of nowhere there's a virus on, you know what I mean, inside your computer. So the virus, obviously comes from an outside source. It came from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta, get rid of that virus. The computer is you. The virus is a, negative energy that's coming from outside sources. You know what I'm saying? That's one good way to look at it, I would think, man. You know, um, again, I'm not out here to attack anybody. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be times where people disagree with what I have to say, and that's cool. That's fine, man. Whether you agree or disagree, it's quite cool with me, man. But deep down to my core, I looking and watching people and having conversations, and not to mention the trauma that I went through and healed from, is that I think deep down that's where the problem comes. You know what I'm saying? Is that you got crooked individuals that are calling all the shots. So what they got to do, for them to continue to call all the shots, they got to put out certain narratives that will fit their agenda. Lies, manipulation, deception, all that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen, women that come from a good home, and they're out there in the, in the workforce. But clearly they're not, they haven't been, they're not masculine, and it's because they came from a good home. They, you know what I'm saying, their home came from, both a man and woman that understand, that understands that they need each other. And if, being that we need each other, we need to maintain the peace and happiness, not just within ourselves, but for our family and for our kids and other people, because it's no longer about us anymore. It never was. So it I know in the past I made quite a few videos, man, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it, or make some kind of, justification about it, depending on what it is, and I'd be more than happy to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But as time went along, you know, I just sat there, and it's like something just dawned on me, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I thinking? Or what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? So when people say that, women are masculine, and I'm like, yeah, we're born into a patriarchy system that's ruled by wicked fucking men. And it's even fucking worse when they come from a broken damn home. I'm telling you, man. I've experienced so much of this shit, dude. And it's sad, really. You know. But that's, I just wanted to speak on that little bit, like, what I mean. I I I believe that red pill movement or the men's movement and feminism, they make good points. Like, speaking, there are some things I agree with. There's some things that I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? And it's important that when I recognize that people are dealing with trauma, and believe me when I tell you, I'm going to sense that shit more than likely immediately. So now I have to be careful the words that I'm going to use. I'm gonna still get my point across, but the most important thing is that when people speak and they give me their opinions or facts, is that I acknowledge what they say, and I understand where is it that they are coming from, because this is their personal experience. Hence the reason why it's called your experience and your life. I can't tell you what the hell, what to do with your life. I can't tell you what your experience, is wrong. So to come from a good place, like, speaking of you, if you really want to, get where people are coming from, you have to be genuine. You have to be considerate. Don't be out here, you know what I'm saying, just coming out of your fucking mouth because you disagree with what somebody have to say. Because that tells a lot about an individual, yo. You know what I'm saying? When I just had this, small talk with somebody, yo, it's like when it tells a lot about, individual when they disagree with what is it that you're saying, but they acknowledge what you say, and they may say they disagree with it respectfully, and then they specify in details why they disagree with what you have to say or what you just said. That person right there knows has some very damn good communication skills, and there's a lot of people that's out here, that do not have that. They just, I'm gonna say what's on my mind, or whatever. It's like no one's not gonna stop you from saying what's on your mind. But when you're constantly trying to interrupt people, and then you're shaming them, and then you're making them feel guilty for what is that they have to say, it's like no one wants to be around that. Your communication skills is bad, and that's one of the reasons why that people's relationships tend to go downhill. you know so that's just my 2 cents, man. But y'all take it easy, man. And peace and love to you, man. I wish everybody well. Be easy.